Alhamdulillah, I've made over 6 figures with a simple coaching business. And whether you're just starting a halal coaching business or you're scaling one, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that took me to 6 figures in the last 6 months. So the first thing is you need to define the who incredibly clearly. If you can't define who you're going to work with, you're going to be stuck. And this is the most important thing for you to define at the start. Who do you want to work with? Now, for me, this was quite a simple solution because I just thought to myself, well, who was I 2 years ago? And this is a lot of coaches' mentality. It's like, what problem did I have? What problem did I solve for myself? How can I help other people solve that problem? And that is absolutely valid, except for the fact that you have to define who you were incredibly well. If you failed to define who you were and you were failing to just really, like, imagine yourself journaling for 2 hours and trying to figure out, like, who was I? What did I think like every day? What was I doing every day? Like, you have to go back to that exact moment in time that you want to coach and focus on who you were at the time. And the next most important thing is step number 1 is understand their pain. That looks a bit like a sausage, like a cigar. It's supposed to be like a plaster, but focus on the pain. What do these guys go through? What is their pain? Now, their pain is going to be in 2 aspects, in my opinion. There's going to be the physical pain, like literally, are they stressed? That's quite physical, right? Are they in physical pain? Like, are they hurting because of their knees, or are they hurting because of their shoulders? And then their mental pain. Now, the way I like to define mental pain is through this angle of what is their goal and how are they not getting to the goal, right? It's the gap between them and their goals, because somebody might have the goal of making 1K per month. And if they're making 1K per month and they don't have the goal of making 10K, it doesn't matter if you can help them make 10K. You're not solving the problem that they have. So you want people who are dissatisfied, right? People who are here and they want to be over here. Dissatisfaction is going to be the measurement of pain. If this person is fully satisfied with being here, then they're not going to buy your solution. No matter how good it is, no matter how much you can help them, they have to be dissatisfied with where they are. They have to be dissatisfied specifically with the goal of not having it. And the goal has to be linked to what you're trying to sell them. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is I had to get a really stable traffic source. Now, alhamdulillah, I've been making content for like 2 years now, almost 3 years. So 2 years I've been making content and it still isn't as stable as I'd like it to be, which is why a lot of people pay for ads. That's one stable method because you put money in and you get eyeballs. You put money in, Facebook's going to give you eyeballs and you're going to drive them wherever you want, right? To a funnel, to whatever you're going to do. Content is not the most stable thing, but I still recommend you build content at the same time. I would recommend, if you don't have the money for ads, just do outreach. Now, the outreach is going to be really simple for you actually, because whatever platform you make content on, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, you can also outreach on those platforms usually. You can't outreach on YouTube, unfortunately, but you can still make content on YouTube regardless. You want to make sure that what you're doing is having the content machine working in the background to increase your authority. You're pulling people towards you by doing the outreach to them, right? You're going to outreach to them to try and figure out if they need your solution. Now, I think outreach is really overpowered for 2 things. Number 1, to actually book meetings and close deals. But secondly, and this is kind of most important at the start, if you're scaling, you can ignore this point, but it's to validate this. Is this the right person you're going to try and work with? Are you solving the right problem? Do they want your solution in the first place? You're validating your offer. So the second thing is to just get a consistent traffic source. I've made a big video, by the way, on this, and I call it the push-pull method. It's like, how can you use content and outreach at the same time so you can increase your authority and not have to like come across as spammy or whatever. The third thing is to literally have a conversation with your prospects. Ask them, what do you want? Once they tell you what they want, charge them for it. Sell them what they want. When I was a mindset coach, and I still technically am, this is the point of my business model I'm going to show you guys, right? I'm a mindset coach. Like, to this day, I'm a mindset coach. I love talking about mindset first and foremost, but I also like talking about client acquisition and sales and business. When I was jumping on conversations with people and I was trying to understand, like, what do you guys want? Like, what do you actually want me to solve for you? Like, what problems do you guys have? What is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to fix? None of them spoke about mindset. They all knew mindset was important, but none of them said, yes, I want mindset coaching. They all said, I want somebody to help me with getting clients for my agency, for my coaching business. I want somebody to help me with procrastination. I want somebody to help me with this. I want somebody to help me with that. None of those things were things I was saying that I could do for them. So that doesn't matter because I wasn't going to be like, oh, I only sell mindset coaching, you can go away now. I was like, I can still help these guys. I know I can. They might not know that they need my solution, but I know I can help them. So what did I do? I sold them what they wanted. And then I went out and built it. I went out and built exactly what they wanted. Exactly what they wanted. But you might be on step number 4 now. You're like, Fedi, I've sold them something that I don't really know if I can deliver. That's fine. That's no biggie at all. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I knew what I could do. Mindset coaching, helping them in content, helping them with some things I learned in business when I scaled my agency, etc. But I wasn't an expert at that. That wasn't what I was really good at. So what I ended up doing was me being confused, ended up finding other people that were experts. That's how I also found my business partner, Muhammad. This guy is an absolute sales beast. Allahumma barik. He's also an absolute beast at booking appointments. So he had that side of the business sorted. So I was like, dude, could you come and coach people? Could you come and make a course with me? Like, we ended up partnering together on this entire thing. Now, we kind of repeat step 3 and 4 multiple times, which will lead to step number 5 in a second. But I went back and I asked people now in our coaching program and everything, like, what do you guys want? They told us what they wanted. I didn't charge them for what they wanted. I was like, I'm not going to charge these guys anymore. I want to give them as much value as possible. So what we ended up doing was finding somebody who's an expert SMS, right? SMS marketing, stuff like that. And bam, now our clients have a new way to get clients by doing SMMS, SMMS, SMS. We're also looking for people now to help them in terms of leadership and building a team. We built a setting network for them. I didn't know how to build a network of setters, so I ended up asking somebody and now they're helping me build it. This entire process goes back and forth. You don't have to be the person that provides everything. You don't have to be. And this leads to step number 5, which is how do people want to get the information that you're going to give it to them, right? Most people just opt into courses, or most people just opt into one-on-one coaching. You have to think bigger. Okay, I can make certain course videos, but what's the point of the courses? The point of the courses is to help somebody see a new way of thinking, is to help them get information so they can take action. So your courses shouldn't just be about information, they should be about implementation. Okay, cool, you have a course on that. And by the way, as a little like spoiler, if I was a coach and I was to start from zero again, what I would focus on is only make courses on the same questions I get again and again and again on my coaching calls. So if I was on a coaching call and some people just ask me the same question like 20 times, I'd be like, cool, this is something I can make a course on. People are going to value it because they keep asking me the same question. Working one-on-one with people means you can help them implement the stuff they learn quicker. Most importantly, however, it means that you can give them feedback, personalized feedback directed to them. I work one-on-one with everybody that's in the program, everybody. And I love it. Why? Because I get to have this conversation and I can continue building the business and making it more valuable for people. But most importantly, it helps me understand step 1 and 2. Everything is built upon me working one-on-one with people. I love having conversations with these guys. One-to-many group coaching is also really useful to help them build an identity and to help them build some sort of mentality as a tribe, which is obviously something that you want. And last but not least, think about having something done for you, right? We've just implemented something done for you with some SaaS stuff that we're working on, right? So instead of building a software, me and my business partner, what we decided to do was how can we run a software that already does what we want to do it, but how can we implement it for our specific avatar? How can we do it for them? I've got some done for you aspects in there. Now this is literally in these 5 steps, my entire business model. That's how I made 6 figures in the last 6 months. Just by literally thinking about who is it, what pain do I want to help them solve? Are they dissatisfied right now? Because if they're satisfied, I can't sell them. It's what it is. They'll be dissatisfied at some point. I can't sell them right now. Next, I need a consistent traffic. If I don't have consistent traffic, you're going to go through this feast and famine cycle in your business, and it's really frustrating. So I decided to build content systems while doing outreach. Then the third thing to do was I had loads of conversations with my potential prospects, and I asked them, what do you want? They told me what they wanted. I gave them what they wanted. And then if it wasn't something I knew 100%, I just built what they wanted. Like, again, I cannot stress this enough. I still coach people one-on-one on their mindset. That is where I spend most of my time. However, because there was some things missing in my skill gap, I was like, okay, what can I find or who can I find, most importantly? Rather than you learning everything yourself, by the way, think about who. It's going to take you years to be as good as the person that's been doing it for 5 years. So you might as well hire them so you don't have to wait 5 years to succeed and start selling. So find the who. After you find the who, decide how you're going to give away the information, the implementation, the support that you're wanting to give. And there you got a really powerful business model in less than 10 minutes. So feel free to just implement it. And again, by the way, on step number 2, like I'll just leave the video here that's coming up now in regard to how you can use the push-pull method. If you're an agency, a coach, it doesn't matter, as long as you've got a service-based business and you can work online with people, then this is going to be really overpowered for you. It's what we do now. It's what we've used for a while, alhamdulillah. So feel free to go watch that video.